Alright, hi guys. So, I didn't make a huge amount of progress on this unit. I had another late shift at my job today, so I was only able to get this guy painted up. But I'm making progress. I mean, I'm kind of making these videos lately more for me because I've said this before, but I'm kind of at the point in this project for my convention game for the Battle of Cecora in 1620, where I need to, really stay consistent with it and make sure I finish things and get figures done. And I have found a regional convention that I want to try to get to in the next in a couple months, and I think that would be good to learn how to be a GM, and also get the Baroque rules down, which I think is what I'm going to use. And I'm kind of repeating stuff from previous videos, but I do have to write. I am going to have to rewrite some, not rewrite rules, but I'm going to have to write up new army lists because the ones for the Ottomans and the Polish army aren't that good. And I need to have lists that are more reflective of kind of the composite armies. So the Polish force is Polish troops plus Cossacks, and the Ottoman army was Ottoman forces plus Crimean Tatars, and then the Transylvanians, whom I'm not sure if they actually participated in the battle. I discussed that issue in more detail, kind of the historical issues of trying to figure that out. But I do have some I do have one Hungarian book about the Transylvanian prince who was leading the army at that time, Gabor Bethlen. And then I need to sit down and read. I do know, I had to return to the library, but there is a collection of published Hungarian sources about him that date from around the time of the battle. So I have to do a little research on that. I may take a little bit of, kind of gamer's license, let's say, and just throw the Transylvanians in anyway, or maybe have them as reserves that the Ottomans could roll for, just to make the game kind of interesting, which wouldn't be totally historically accurate potentially, but anyway, that's what I'm thinking, at least. And for people doing 30 Years' War stuff, I should mention. So Gabor Bethlen was a Protestant prince, and I think he did fight in some battles of the 30 Years' War. So if you are doing that period and you want a kind of visually interesting army, Transylvanians might be worth a look. But I'm always a proponent of wargaming, people wargaming Hungarians. So, and the other thing with the project is I do want to get Cossacks eventually. If I can get them before this convention and get them painted, that'll be great. If not, it's not a big deal. But I would like to have them, because I'm thinking I can go to this like smaller, seems to be a smaller convention at least, and then maybe later in this year go to like one of the HMGS conventions, or maybe next year try to get to Historicon. We'll see. I mean, it depends what I can afford and everything, and what's realistic. So that's what's going on hobby wise. I've got one more stand. Well, I got to finish this one, and then it'll be one more stand, and it'll be good to go. And then for the Transylvanians from the box set that I got, it'll be I have to do the dismounted Hijokes, which I've talked about before. I'm going to paint those. I'm going to paint those the same I did as the mounted ones from this box set. I'm going to do black jackets with blue trousers. I think that's a pretty cool combination for these guys. And then I have the command figures. There's one there. It's the drummer, and then the standard bearer. These are all from Wargamer Poland, from their By Fire and Sword range. And then trying to find the Transylvanian captain or general. Well, I can't find him right now. He's somewhere around here. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've got hobby-wise. I didn't want to talk about a video that the channel, the Solo Wargamer, put out, talking about, you know, where have all the small wargaming channels gone, basically. And a lot of what he said was some stuff I've been saying, I've said on my channel before. I don't like to dwell on this subject because I think, you know, it's more important to do actual hobby stuff, but I think he did raise a good point. It's just the kind of dominance in wargaming YouTube of these influencer type channels. And I would say we kind of know, you kind of know one of those when you see it, you know, and I think I've been trying to put it into words and think about how to express it, so I hope I'm articulating myself well, but you know, the videos that they put out are like kind of, it's not like, you know, this is the project I'm working on, you know, this is what it's about, this is like my progress. It's like, you know, making videos that will be good as YouTube videos just to earn revenue. And it's usually Games Workshop stuff. The other reason I've always been uneasy and kind of disliked a lot of these big influencer channels, you know, back when I was more into Warhammer, Games Workshop stuff, you know, they're the channels that get a lot of the products for free and would always give positive reviews that, you know, whatever new box set they got, that was the best box set ever. You know, or like a lot of them, because they have to be positive, you know, are never going, you know, would never talk about like the really ridiculous pricing on Games Workshop products, for example. You know, I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but I'm just trying to make the point, you know, that they would. So, and at the end of the day, you know, what are they doing is they're running a business of making videos, which I'm not opposed to. You know, everybody has a right to kind of, you know, run a business or, you know, make a living. You know, that's fine, but I think it's kind of veers into a deceptive area, a kind of, and maybe unintentionally deceptive, but it gives off the impression that, you know, oh, I'm just a hobbyist like you, you know, even though they have like a really professional studio, or, you know, that they, you know, do this full time, basically. But they're really not, you know, they're running a business of making, you know, videos on the internet that will maximize revenue, you know, and if you watch those with that in mind, I think that's, you know, fine, you know, if you know that and, you know, you take that into account, you know, there's I don't think there's any harm, but it leads into, I think, another issue, which is, you know, these people develop kind of fan bases that are very like loyal to them, and sometimes to a weird extent, where if you say, you know, I don't like that particular creator, or I don't find his videos very good, or I disagree with him on this. They get very upset, and it's like, how dare you? They're a good person, or and it's like, that's not really the point, and it's kind of weird how much attachment you put into these people. So it gets into kind of strange territory like that. At least I think it's kind of strange. And then because they have these fan bases, it develops into like, well, they're a leader in the community, even though this hobby is so big, and there's so many different niches within it. Obviously, in historical wargaming, we have so many different periods. People playing so many different rules systems. You've got all that. And then you've got the sci-fi and fantasy games that it's the same thing. So when it gets into this, well, they're contributing to the hobby, or they're like, or people kind of make them like a leader. It's like, well, there's no king of wargaming handing out titles of nobility. There's no elections, of that give these people, kind of some sort of authority. Other than that, they make videos. They make well-produced videos, and it reminds me of when there was I think there was at one point, there was when they were developing, I think when Games Workshop was developing, I think the second edition of the Horus Heresy, I want to say, they were trying to get community feedback. I hope I don't butcher this story, or if I'm misremembering, but as I remember, it was either Horus Heresy or something else where they wanted community feedback, but it wasn't like feedback from a lot of different gamers playing it, or looking at the rules, or sending in their, or writing in their suggestions or something. It was mostly listening to these kind of hobby influencers, that get free products from them. So that's kind of one of the other effects this has. That's pretty, I think, focused on Games Workshop stuff, but I think it is another good illustration of the effect that this has on the hobby, in some ways. And I think, just to make my position clear, I'm not really against people that have high production values or have a lot of subscribers. That's, and I guess I'll just give a couple examples. Like when I watch Little Wars TV, even though I know they have a Patreon, but I can just watch their videos, and they're really well produced and everything, way better than anything I could ever do, frankly. But at the end of the day, I just feel like I'm watching their video. If I wanted to join their Patreon, I could, but I don't have to. Same thing with a similar channel is of Mark's Game Room. When I watch their stuff, and I think Little Wars 2, as well, I just feel like, okay, I'm watching these clubs. They come up with a project, and they put on they do the project, and they put the game on. That's what they film, rather than making videos that fit kind of the whatever the hot topic is in the gaming, in tabletop wargaming, or what the new product is from some company. And another example, like there's the channel Seven Sun. I think he has a lot of subscribers. I don't know how many, but whenever I watched his videos, and frankly I haven't watched him in a little while, but I just felt like I was watching him do his projects and, whatever he was interested in at the time. It wasn't, even though he has a lot of people watching him, I didn't feel like I was being sold something, or there was some kind of string attached to watching the video, or someone wanted me to buy their merch or whatever. So maybe those thoughts are kind of scattered, but if you want to go watch Solo Wargaming Show's video, yeah, he's pretty passionate, and some people called his video a rant, kind of in a negative way. I don't think rants are I don't think a rant is in and of itself is necessarily negative. Sometimes you just need to go off, and that's okay once in a while if it's when it's justified. So you can watch his video and check it out. I think, but like I said, I think I agree with a lot of what he said, and I think for me, I like kind of the little niche of wargaming YouTube I'm in, where I've got my approach, and there's other guys that's they're just doing the same thing, just showing their projects, talking about what they're researching or what they're building and painting, and what games they're playing. That's what I like. But it's hard to find other people doing that, and it's hard to support them because just the nature of YouTube makes it hard to discover those people and find them. So, all right, this is kind of a long one. I hope this little sermon, if you will, was interesting at least, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks.